Good afternoon.
Nearly.
Really. What is important to you? Life in the pursuit of happiness or life in the pursuit of something meaningful, a meaningful life?
Well, I believe that a meaningful life is on the road along to the pursuit of happiness. But I've never looked for happiness in the sense of aren't we having a great time kind of thing, or looking for something that other than what it should be. I haven't been really looked for anything. A purposeful life and a meaningful life seems to be the keys to a happy life. But it's not all a bed of roses. It has thorns, lots of them.
Don't you think that's what makes you grow as a human being?
Yeah.
And not hiding away from it?
No. Can't hide from yourself.
People do.
Oh, I know. Well, they don't. They hide what they think they are, but if you think you're hiding from yourself, you're not, Because you don't think about things like that.
When you were coming out of school, going into, well, first it was Delaney and Bonnie, and then, of course, your thing with Eric, Derek and the Dominoes. Were you pursuing anything?
No, I just wanted to sing and play. I wasn't looking for fame or fortune or anything like that. That wasn't my quest. My quest was just to stand out there. I actually started out, playing a chromatic harp. Just picked it up in a pawn shop one time up in Duluth, Wyoming, Minnesota. As a matter of fact, Wyoming, Minnesota. I was staying at my aunt and uncle's house for a little while. I was deposited there. They were always sending me away for some reason. I don't know. But I walked in a pawn shop and it was $5. And it was a chromatic harp. And I went, wow, I'd been staying at Big Mama's house in Hurt Village in Memphis. And it was an apartment complex that's got barbed wire, 12-foot chain link around it. It was near Humes High School where Elvis went to school. But I had been staying there and listening to Fingertips Part 1 and Part 2 Stevie Wonder. Somehow or other, I wound up at Aunt Ruby and Uncle Mark's house up in Wyoming and saw this thing. And when I looked at it, it just clicked with me. I knew that's what he played, but it just clicked with me. I'm talking about me being 15 years old, and I gave the guy $5, picked it up, and started playing Fingertips, Part 1. Everybody say yeah, including that. I just down, 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 down. All those little quarter or half steps, All that just made so much sense to me when I heard myself playing it. It was like I'd been playing it all my life.
So you don't really play harp anymore, do you?
No, I play a couple little blues.
You moved on. It was sort of a stepping stone into the organ, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It really was, as a matter of fact, because I stood out front. My first band was called Out of It. I had Roy Yeager, David Priola, and Bobby Sowell playing the bass and the thing. He's still around. We're friends from a long time ago. But yeah, it was a stepping stone because I was playing chromatic harp when we put our first band together. Called ourselves Out of It because everywhere we went to find a shirt that matched, they were out of them. So we were all over town, except for Lansky's. I don't know why we didn't go to see Hal, but well, anyway. Where was I?
So do you think that there was a vast difference between you and Eric as far as wanting to be something or do something?
Yeah. I was just being, you know. That's what I was doing. That's what, I didn't have any rock star, superstar thing, even when I was with Eric and that very thing, rock star. I wasn't looking for that. I wasn't looking for it to happen. So everything was just going along the way I was going along as it went along. You know, I was who I was at that moment. Now Eric, on the other hand, wanted superstardom. And that was his quest. But it was his. I can look at him, at his progression in my mind's eye, and I remember the very first lick that he showed me was his very first lick. Let me get this real quick and show you.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty cool. I've never said anything about this.
Well, we were going to do that, but
that's Eric Clapton's first lick.
what do you mean his first lick? Did
That's
somebody
the
show it to
first
him? Or
lick that he's played. He showed it to me. He says the first lick that I ever did was. He said I made people crazy for about a month with that. And
then Shaw said there was another one that.
I asked him why, and he says it goes. It opens the door both ways for him. That made a whole lot of sense to me. I understood, and he just got better at. He said he did the one, and then he got another one and tagged it, and then tagged that on and tagged something else to that, and he step by step by step. And if you listen back to early Eric, you'll hear that.
Before you put that down, show the other lick that he showed you. That one.
Oh yeah, good for you.
You showed me.
Yeah, he said this is a finger exercise. So. No. Dang it, Lee.
It's not fair that I'm on top of you. Haven't played it all. Haven't played it in years, probably.
That's it. And that's all.
Sorry to surprise you with that. That's all right.
That's
Haven't played for a while.
a Larry Williams lyric. All right, but
Oh.
I believe it's Larry Williams and Snake Stretchers or something. I don't know.
Snakes, treasure.
What you got? What you got that I ain't got? What you know that I don't know? What you got that I ain't got? He's got you, babe. He got you, babe.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So
fun
while you're
stuff.
there, can you show us what Duane had showed you to play?
Open tuning, just how to play an open tune. He told me, assuming this is open like that, he said, little brother, he said, I can play every song there is and never move from here.
No.
He said, I love to play it. And I got his slide over there too. But, yeah, he said, I can play
have Duane's
everything,
slide.
everything, huh?
You got Duane's slide.
Yeah. Somewhere.
It's right there on the hearth.
There it is. Yeah, I'll show you.
All right. behind that nice painting you just did?
Yeah, see.
Oh.
Well, this is the favorite.
Okay, so you had a
Hang
Duane.
on,
You had a slide
okay.
that was Duane's. He gave you a slide, right?
Now, Duane gave that to a
This
buddy
is
of
actually
mine,
a
friend of mine,
Clive Christian box.
Stephen Fowler. And he gave me one. Duane had given him two of them. And he gave me two. And I broke one. And
Duane gave you 2 slides.
yeah,
And you
I
broke
one,
one.
and the other one I gave to the guy that started Delta Slide Company, and he used it as a prototype. And but Stephen gave me 2 of these. One I sent one to Eric. This has been several years ago.
Right.
And Eric said, he said, first thing I did was put it on. He said it had some kind of
Magic juju.
magical power to it, something about it. But let's see. That won't take a second.
What are you tuning to?
Open E.
Alright. And for those of you that don't know, Open E is
Open E.
just tuned to an E chord.
Let me do this, make it right. It's a shame to be so
We
close.
can wait. All these guys here are going, cool, Bobby, you got this great Duane Allman slide
Yeah.
right there. Does it have Duane DNA in it?
It did have somebody's DNA in it. Both of them did. I cleaned the one out and went to
No! Dang it, Bobby.
Eric. It's funny stuff, man. Life is a funny proposition if you're into it, you know. I always said, life is what you make it, you know. So take it and make it beautiful.
So when Duane taught you this, where were you? What were you doing?
In my hotel room in Miami, and we were in it, and he had just put new strings on changed the strings on my guitar. Told me how to dress it up, dress the head like that. Yeah,
Okay.
Duane showed me how to do that. Take a key, zip it with a key, or and it's real handy too. I like the way it
Personally, I hate it. You always do it to mine.
and another way you can braid it through.
Actually, I don't mind it at all. Okay, so did he just say, "Okay, I'm going to teach you how to play slide"?
No, he
Did
just
you
said,
ask
check
him?
it out, you know. He said, "You just put your thumb back there as an anchor."
And didn't Duane pick up the slide after hearing who was he?
And then when I wrote this part,
Oh baby, oh baby.
when I wrote that, it was because I knew how to tune and open. Duane showed me how to do that.
Oh, and
So I tell the truth, wouldn't have happened if he hadn't showed me how to play open.
Oh, well,
As
you
matter
got
of
a
fact,
lot to
it's
thank him
bunch of
for.
songs. And I went from there. I learned how to tune all these different things.
Okay, so you were in the hotel room and you guys were just chilling, and was it you and
He just
Eric
said-
and
he
Duane,
told
or
me, no, it's just me and Duane.
was this during Delaney and Bonnie?
No, it's when we did the Layla album. The last session we did Thorn Tree in the Garden. Eric
Right.
said, got room for one more. We did that, and I took my guitar home, and Duane said, let me change those strings for you. I went to
Yeah,
my
but you
hotel
wrote
room.
wrote Tell the Truth before that when you were in the studio with George.
Yeah, I was banging away on it.
Oh, I see. You weren't playing the piano. I mean, you weren't playing guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused.
Well, you leave me confused too.
No,
But,
I asked you a legitimate question. I think. Yeah, I'm confused. Anyway, he showed you the E tuning, so that's brilliant. Did Delaney show you anything? Guitar.
everything not to do.
Oh, he didn't want you to play the guitar, did he?
He didn't let me play guitar.
Were you exclusively on the organ with Delaney and Bonnie?
Yes. Yeah.
It was Eric that got you playing the piano.
Eric got me playing piano. We were doing the jams, and that was literally what happened in front of the sessions of All Things Must Pass. I was last in there. Eric is already plugged in. Everybody's plugged in. I'm the only American in the room, and somebody was on, one of the Garys was on my B3, or my Hammond anyway, the A100, and I said, he's on my organ. I said, he's supposed to be playing a synthesizer or something. He said, get on that piano over there. I said, I don't play piano. He said, now's a good time to learn. And I sat down at the grand piano, and we were all in there. Alan White, Klaus Foreman, Eric, me, Gary Wright, and Gary Brooker, and thanks for the pepperoni or one of those. But you hear me in the front. I was like drawing them. Put the bucket down in the well, and I was coming up with my Mama, Little Richard, Fats Domino, Jerry Lee. I mean, I was pulling them out
Instantly.
pulling them out of the well, and
Right.
up it came, and I started playing piano right then. I played organ. Even Mama's old pump organ, I learned to play it, but I couldn't play piano. It's like banjo and guitar. It's two different things altogether, two different instruments altogether, even though they have strings. Well, even though an organ has keys, and I mean, it's just like a piano. It's just a whole different instrument altogether, approach and everything about it. I can make my way around on that old pump organ, get the pump up and get the knees out and the bellows going, and then you got to be steady and play in tune with all that going and keeping that pump like it was Scottish bagpipe. You got to keep the thing going, make it right, and pull out all those dang stops and stuff.
Were they surprised that you could play that
I
thing?
told George, I said, they had one they used on the Beatles stuff and everything. I said, this is what it needs, this pump organ is what this song, All Things Must Pass, and all the My Sweet Lord,
Right.
all the pump organ on the whole album is me, and every song on the B3 or the Hammond is me, except for Behind That Locked Door, and that's Billy Preston. But
Were they surprised that you could play that pump organ?
I was the only one in the place that even thought about it, and
Of course.
I had it going. And then there it was,
Did George like it?
Yeah, well, it's on all the record.
I know, but was he smiling when you played that thing?
Yeah,
Or was
perfect. See, it was acoustic rock.
It sounds great.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there's nothing
yeah.
like that pump organ on there. You can hear
No,
it loud
yeah.
and clear.
Yeah.
And the organ. What's the difference between the way you play and Billy Preston?
Billy plays in a gospel feel.
Mm-hmm.
He played in a whole gospel. We fit perfectly as a team. He had played with us with Delaney and Bonnie when we were on the road with George and Eric and
They never
Dave
mentioned
Mason.
Billy
They
Preston.
never mentioned Billy Preston.
Really?
But yeah, well, I don't know why. But
So weird.
Yeah. He's a good guy. That's where we met.
Yeah, he played with us one time.
But we were the perfect combination together. Either him on the organ and me on piano, or me on the organ and him on piano.
He really liked your playing, didn't he?
Huh?
He liked your playing a lot.
Yeah. We identified with each other.
You connected.
Roots.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't suppose you ever thought of writing with him, did you?
No. We were just playing together, and got to spend some time on a boat together. You know, talking the better part of the night with Duane. He's a good guy. I enjoyed the time I got to spend. I got to know him on a level other than just on stage, you know, just a real practical, heart-to-heart conversation. You know, you get to know somebody. You know, when you sit down and you're not talking about music. You're talking about, you know, the truth of your life and stuff. You know, deeper than I thought I was. That's for sure. You know, for me, I wasn't that long out of a cotton field, so it hasn't been long. I'm on the road with them like, you know, 19 years old, 20 years old.
When did you start feeling that things were changing for you guys?
For who?
For all of you. When did you feel like you knew that suddenly you were in a different place, you know, in the scheme of things, you know, when you started getting some success? Or
when we first started.
Who's that you?
There was never a sense of doubt or urgency at all.
You mean Derek and the Dominoes?
Delaney and Bonnie and me.
Oh.
My first step out into the world, crossing the Mississippi River, the other side of the Mississippi River, was an adventure to me. And just stepping out there and sleeping on Delaney's couch, you know, my door opened, you know, and every step I took along the way was right ones. Even the apparently, seemingly wrong ones were the right ones. You know.
So it almost goes back to where we were at the very beginning of the conversation. A meaningful life is probably the best way to live.
Yeah.
Not just a happy, because
I've
without those
lived a
bumps,
well-rounded life. All of its pitfalls, ups and downs, and I don't have any I wish you shoulda, couldas. I don't, you know, because there would have been, that train would have been too long to wish you shoulda, coulda, hadda.
You just try to do better.
Just take another step in it's another door, and that closes behind you. Even if it's absolute darkness, you know, you got a place to go. You know, it's just, life is in front of you.
When you don't know what to do, what do you do?
Do what's put before you to do, because what you're doing. That's what you know to do. You know, if you follow your instinct, you know, it bottoms out or dead ends every time if you don't. If you try to do it yourself, or at least that's been my case. You know, every dang time. Whether it's singing, or if I try to do it and get all hot and licking out and acrobatics nonsense, you know, or just sing the song, or, you know, play the part. That's why it's generally the first time for me. Everything I do, vocally.
It's always the first time.
You know, that is it. I always want to go back and do it again, you know, but never works, and I get frustrated because it doesn't.
Your best work is always a first take.
Yeah, I mean, and that's following that invisible principle that you're dialed into, or that I'm dialed into. Same as with my art. The very first, if I get in there and try to do it, it'll just be a mess, and and I have to paint over it and paint, and then suddenly something comes to life because I forgot about painting, and I'm actually just that brush, you know, an extension of this invisible brush. That's an amazing experience.
I notice that's the same way when you're playing piano. Well, really, when you're playing the organ, you actually become part of the organ.
Yeah, it's an extension of me, and I identify with my painting, because it really is, you know.
Before painting, you didn't know that, though. Up until 2 years ago.
But before my painting, I didn't know it existed. My painting, but I still used the art form, you know. I was all the drawbars on my canvas, you know, they're the colors of everything, and this organ is the wash, you know, and it's a feel and in and out and the flow, the ebb and flow of the sounds. Just like I'm doing that, it's exactly what it looks like to me. It looks like blue ocean coming in and out, you know, and it's the same way with the sound. You know, I have this thing called synesthesia. I believe that's the right pronunciation. Sometimes, I mean, just now, it was as blue can be, what I saw in my mind's eye at that very moment, and at this moment, because just thinking of it, it becomes that, you know. And colors, I hear color through sound, and it's too hot, you know, or a beautiful sky. I mean, just think it, and there it is. My life is a series of snapshots, and I've tried to take photos of clouds and things like that. It doesn't work, you know. I see it, and it's like for me, just like that. Just that instant is for me, and that same thing with my music. And I could never do the drawbars the same way twice. Never, ever, ever. Because that takes away the emotion and feel of it, you know, the texture and the depth of it.
So that could be the vast difference between playing organ and piano, is that you don't get to do the drawbars.
No,
it's not
no.
as feeling towards.
No. Not as much as color with and texture, but with a piano, it's more trying to bring some feeling out of a single stroke. Hammer goes down, boom. Pulling some feeling out of that one note, then you can do it. Boom. You know. There's a bang or bing. It is. It has a
You can warp the sound with a organ.
It's all how it's texture. So if you don't have the drawbar, you have to skip that part and work with what you got to work with. And sometimes it's not the right piano, but you can make do with that, and it'll get the quality out of it. That'll be what you needed in the first place. I know that's true. That's to be true.
So you would say following your intuition, or what they call your daemon, actually, following that is your success in life. It can be if you listen to it.
Yeah, well, I like this.
How do you measure success?
What?
How do you measure success?
Well, depends on what you think it is. You know,
well, a lot of
waking
people...
up in the morning is success to somebody. You don't, not me. I don't measure it in things or stuff. If I had everything I ever had or owned, what I have is what I have, you know. The rest of it was either given away or stolen from me. In my whole life, cars, everything, boats.
Don't you think success is you've done everything that you know to do, to have done everything in your life? You know, you've tried your hardest. Would that be success to you? That you know you've tried your hardest, that you live to your highest sense of
well, I
fortitude?
said I've done the best I could do with what I had to work with from day one with me and living this life. I'm 72 now.
I mean, some people have a warped idea of success. They think it's money.
Oh, it's not cars, all that stuff. Money, cars, houses, all that comes and goes. You know, but what you are, how do you feel about yourself right now? I'm good. I can pick up and start all over right now.
I mean, because
if we needed to do it, we could do it.
There are a lot, which we will do. There are a lot of guys out there and women that are just now picking up a guitar, or they've been playing it for many, many years, and it's frustrating for them. So, to me, it's like, I think that's the thing that they really wanted to do. So it's what makes you happy in your heart.
Yeah, yeah.
you know, to continue on doing it,
That's it.
no matter
That's
what
it.
anybody says.
You know, you follow that light. You know, no matter how dim the candle may glow, you know, it's there. You know.
So you can start when you're 70?
Oh hell yeah! You can start anytime. You know.
You started painting when you were 70.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like I've been doing it since I was born.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like my singing.
But I mean, you dove into it like you dove off a high dive.
Yeah, yeah. I painted yesterday. I had to get my little studio in order a bit, and so I decided just to. There are over 1,000 paintings in the storehouse, in the storeroom, and then yesterday I got 137 30-inch by 40-inch canvas, completely stacked up in plastic and everything, and about 50 more that are on wood. Sometimes I would do things on. Nothing escapes my paint, though. I mean, it might be a stick on the ground.
Is the painting, is it like music? Is it related in any way to you?
It's like flying. Just imagine this. One day, you just felt like you could fly. I mean, and just like, holy moly, I'm lifting up. Whoa. I'm gonna try that again. And then you go, whoa, hell yeah. Look at them down there. Holy moly. And you come, whoo, I gotta do this again. God dang. And that's why I paint all the time, because it's like flying. Imagine if suddenly you could fly. Well, that's what I can do. I can fly, you know. Yeah, I can fly. I can fly in my body. I can fly right here, sitting to you and me. I can sail off to where I want to go, you know, or where that is, those mountains, that sky, whatever that is that comes forth now, you know. But yeah, I can fly. Imagine if you be flying all the time. I just have to quit sometimes because it wears me out. Have to take a break even if you love flying, you know.